What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation, coming at you from the Pilot in Sioux City, Iowa. Picked up my load at about 0200 this morning. Drops off at 1400. Got here about 0630, so I'm gonna sit here till about 1:30 or 13:15. But I just kind of wanted to expand a little bit on the video I did yesterday that was talking about company culture. And I did a lot of thinking about this, and it got me thinking about a seminar that I got sent to when I was in the mortgage business. And a lot of times you go through this stuff and you think, man, that's some hippie shit right there. But you end up pulling a lot of stuff out of it. Now, before I get into what I learned in that, is the culture is in the Kool-aid. And that is one thing that you always hear. And Prime gets a lot of hate for it, out in the trucking industry. They're drinking that Prime Kool-aid, whatever. You'll always have people say that, and you'll even have people within Prime, saying that about other people in Prime. But yeah, the culture is in the Kool-aid. Now, one of the things I remember them saying about company culture was that company culture is like a glacier. Only 10% of it is above the water. So, looking from afar, if you're at a different company, a lot of times you hear all these people that are pretty much, I'd say I was pretty devoted to Prime. So, you only see that, but you don't understand why, because 90% of the culture is below the surface. And when that culture starts getting chipped at, it becomes a problem. Now, you don't have to have 100% of your company that's down with the culture. I'd say you need at least a good 35-40%. And, reverting back to my time in the mortgage industry, just to kind of build a parallel here, one of the salespeople that I used to manage was probably the top salesperson, but he was not about the culture. He was all about himself. If it was somebody else needed some help, he wasn't about that. And when you have people that are all about their self or all about the money, they are a lot harder to manage, because it feels like you're spending 100% of your time trying to talk them into staying at the company. Because just like in trucking, in the mortgage business, no matter where you're at, there's always going to be better money out there. So if there's nothing to ground you like the foundation of a company, and you're just all about yourself, now when little things happen, let me just go somewhere else. Now, first of all, or secondly, or whatever, my intentions when I first came to Prime was not to stay at Prime. My intentions were to come to Prime, use Prime like a lot of people do, get my CDL, buy a truck and bounce out. It was the culture that kept me around, starting off with the Salt Lake City terminal where I did my PSD training. And then, probably even more so than the average Prime driver, I became immersed in the culture because I allowed myself to get involved with people that have been at the company for 20 plus years. And I got involved with, newer people coming in. So I've always felt a strong company culture. Now, even if things are going the way that they could be going, and trust me, it says more to this. Hold on, I gotta make sure it's gotta take my shit off. This is more than just the cameras. Over the course, maybe the last, I'd say 14 months or so, I've just been noticing just the chipping away at the culture. So anyway, just put that out there. I've had some people reach out and talk to me about, pulling my trucks and, going somewhere else and all this kind of stuff. And first of all, on the third truck, I couldn't do it anyway. I could do it on the first two. One's going to be paid off. Second one, I could pay off and move. These are the worst parkers at this place. Let me pull up. This guy. Lord have mercy. But anyway, that's not going to happen. I mean, my goals are still what my goals are, regardless of what my thoughts are on Prime at any given circumstance. So I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere or anything like that. But what could happen, and probably happened to other people well before it happens to me, is once you start turning people into, you start taking them from being about the culture to taking them to being about the money, that's when you really start having a problem. And to revert back to the mortgage industry, there was a time in the mortgage industry where, at the company I was with, where as soon as things started getting bad, you start having those people that weren't grounded in the culture that started leaving to go to other companies because, they thought they could make more money. There was just no grounding them, and that's what I'm afraid of. And I'm probably sure I'm going to be doing more videos on this, but I just kind of wanted to talk about what is concerning me at the moment. And I mean, while that is concerning, the stuff that is more upsetting, again, like I mentioned in the last video, is having people that know nothing about what we're doing making those decisions. And one thing that I applaud Swift for, bravo Swift, is having their upper management get out in them trucks. It's easy to sit here and talk about all the sacrifices we're making and all that stuff. It's easy to talk about it. It's hard to understand it. And I think there is a disconnect there. And every time I hear it, it kind of like rubs me a little bit the wrong way. It rubs me the same wrong way as to when I have to check off that box on my paperwork saying that I'm an owner-operator. It's not anything that really upsets me, but it just rubs me the wrong way a little bit. And especially, checking that box and saying, I never thought I was an owner-operator, never even pretended to, but for me to check a box talking about I'm an owner-operator and then have to be worried about, somebody treat me like a kindergartner, I don't know. Not a good feeling. But I just wanted to come in. I know that I'm probably not going to really be able to get into this until I get home, when I have a reasonable amount of time to just sit and reflect on what's going on and what my adaptation to this could be. So anyway, I want to thank you for stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. As always, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.